Coach MacIntyre, if you'd like to make an opening statement, then we'll take questions from the fans.
I know y'all, of course, y'all know about the hurricane, everything going on. The Nichols team is coming down here early and is proud of what they're trying to accomplish and do. It's a really rough time. I have a couple friends that coach in Louisiana. One of them, he was at southeastern Louisiana, and the tornadoes and all that came within 50 yards of his house. I mean, he said it's just really, really, really rough. So we're just praying for those people and thinking about them. I know we're all seeing that in our area, but puts football in perspective, to say the least. And then it also, when you get to play the game, it makes it special also. So, all right, I'll take any questions.
Evan and then Terry.
My first of all, you mentioned Nichols is on the way. Like, kind of for you, like what's it like kind of just, being, we saw Ryan mention that, you guys have, made yourselves available, but just as a coach and somebody who understands, the community, like what's it mean for you guys just to be able to show that kind of charity to Nichols at this time?
Well, it's a way we can help. I mean, that's kind of what it talks about, when people are down or thinking bad situations happen. It's just being hospitable, right? Being there, being available, being able to help. And so sometimes it's really a little thing that Ryan and Laird and all them are doing, I think. But it's also a big thing that they would open their arms to do that and make it special and help them out. And I was really, really exceptional thing that they're doing.
Great. And kind of switching a little bit now to talk football. We've heard about this offense. We've heard kind of the depth. I think you mentioned it as well too. How is it just kind of planning for a team that has, so much experience, so much depth, but also a team that, put up almost, over I think 45, 46 points per game last year?
Yes, they're very dynamic. That's the thing. They have people that can make you miss in space. Their quarterback is extremely athletic. He signed with LSU. I think he was a Gatorade Player of the Year in Louisiana. He is an excellent athlete. He's an excellent runner. He's built like a tailback. He's like 5'11", about 220, but he has an excellent arm. They have a big receiver, number 5, who's really, really athletic. He's about 6'4". He played high school ball with Quindale Johnson. So Quindale's told me how good an athlete he is. And then, their running back, I think he's like 200 yards away from the school record. And he's a 230-pound, 5'11" guy. I mean, he's a big athletic guy, and their offensive line's athletic. And so the thing is, they're all back. Everybody on the offense is back. They played all in the spring. And so they're probably their motor's running a little bit since they played all spring, and then they came into fall camp, and so there'll be a very tough contest for us.
And are you excited too? Because looking at the depth chart, we see a lot of experience. We know there's a lot of guys coming back. With the offense kind of being in flux, does it give you a little bit more confidence going in, because a lot of these guys have been in the system and they know what to do, and so there's not a little bit of uncertainty compared to, say, last year?
Yes, it does give you confidence that when the game starts, they'll think clear. They won't have as the jitters to not think correctly, not execute their fundamentals correctly, because they've been doing it with us. So that familiarity. But the other side of it is, they've got to play hard, they got to play fast, and they've got to be ready to go.
Thanks.
Hey, Coach, 2 questions for you. First of all, other than the win and making sure everybody gets healthy, what is your expectations for Saturday? And 2, did you invite some of your Louisiana friends to move in so they can cook you some good Louisiana food while you're at the house?
I'll start with the food first. There's no doubt the Louisiana food is unbelievable. It's incredible. And, they hopefully they will. Maybe they'll bring us. That might be why we're helping them so much. They'll bring us a plate of food. That'd be great, for sure. And also, with in the game, in our team, our defense, we just want to go out there honestly. And it's an old coach cliche, and y'all might say it. We just got to hold them 1 point less than our offense scores. Now, yes, we want to shut them down. The other team wants to score points. But I believe our kids understand if something bad happens, they know how to bounce back. They kind of know what I'm going to call. They understand where we're going. They know how to fix themselves, so to speak, on the field. So I think a lot of those things I expect to see in the course of a game, in the course of a drive, that will help us play better at the beginning of the year.
Frank, go ahead.
Coach, you've got a couple either ors on your depth chart in terms of starters. Do you think those position battles are going to carry on past game one?
They've been battling all fall camp. I thought that all the ors have. You know, the sad thing about football is you do have nicked up injuries. So all those ors will be playing a lot either time as the season goes along. I always tell the guys at the beginning of the year, I always tell every third teamer to stand up. And I said, about 3 or 4 of y'all will be starting some before this year's over. So you have to always be prepared. And I always like to use Bill Belichick's line because I think it's a great line. When you play, you better play well. And I always tease them. I say, when you get in the game, don't wave at your mom. Don't tell everybody, hey, I'm here. You better go play well because everybody else is counting on you to play well. So I think that the depth on our team should help us as the season goes along and you get nicked up, that we'll hopefully be playing really well in November and in December.
And how much does that put your mind at ease knowing that you've got guys that you can plug in and not really lose much?
Well, a coach's mind's really never at ease. You're always thinking about different scenarios. You're thinking about different situations. But I do know that the kids are preparing themselves. They're working hard. They understand what we want to try to do. So that gives me a peace of mind of being able to correct things. And, you know, if Nichols comes here and shows something different than they have done, we know we make some other calls and they should be able to handle it.
Wrap us up, Evan.
Last thing for me, you mentioned Greg Rubin as somebody who is kind of stepping up at depth a little bit. We see him on the depth chart as a true freshman. You know, we talked about that a little bit with the quarterback battle, but just from Greg's standpoint, we know he didn't play last year, but what have you kind of seen from him that where he's been able to kind of rise up and make, you know, be on the depth chart this soon?
Well, you know, having spring practice really helped him. And then all summer, you know, being able to learn the playbook and everything. So he has good understanding of what we want to do. Greg has what I would call, he has excellent vision back there and an understanding of concepts of what receivers are trying to do to him out of different sets. You can tell that he's played a lot of defensive back and been coached well at it. So he has a very good feeling and good body control. But I think the thing that I noticed so much out of him is not just his athletic ability, it's just his vision. He's able to see the second receiver. He's able to see the quarterback. He's able to understand double moves and different things that are happening to him that usually take you time with a young guy. But I guess he's played so much defensive back that he has feels extremely comfortable and can see it. Because a lot of kids that come in out of high school, they've played receiver, they played running back, they played quarterback, and then they just throw them over at DB. And then you have to develop. He's been a DB. Now he's played those other positions, but I think he's dreamed of being a DB since he came out of the womb. That's what he looks like to me. He just has that feel.
Thanks.
Thank you, Coach MacIntyre.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.